Right, and welcome to Hannity. Tonight we begin with a Fox News alert and breaking tonight. According to our sources, the FBI recently conducted not one but two searches at the University of Delaware, combing through Biden's massive trove of documents for classified material. No word yet on whether any classified material was located, but the Bureau is still going through documents. We're going to keep you posted as this story continues to unfold. We were told originally it might be the equivalent of 2 truckloads that Biden had brought over to the university. Also tonight, big breaking news from Jim Jordan surrounding big tech and the federal government. He will join us and tell us all about it. And Nikki Haley, she will join us only hours after now announcing her run for the presidency. We'll talk to her, and the great one, Mark Levin, will weigh in on Joe Biden, China, a combination that is now more dangerous than ever. But tonight, more direct threats from the Communist Party of China. Now, you would think that they're the ones that shot down our spy balloon at this point, the way they're acting, on top of more promises of surveillance against us, more spying against us, more hostility in the Pacific, and more pollution and more death and more suffering. Don't forget, it was China that created COVID-19. They unleashed it on the world knowingly. Over 1 million Americans died in part because of China. If your parents died, your grandparents died, your friends, family members died, it's maybe because of that country's sloppy authoritarian government. Make no mistake, the Communist Party of China is a malignant threat to America and the globe, but the Biden administration will not hold them accountable for anything. It raises questions. How much money did they do in business with them? They won't even dare say a bad word about China. Now, some on the left were more angry that when President Trump called COVID the China virus than the fact that the government of China, remember, they only allowed people in Wuhan, they could travel to the rest of the world, but they weren't allowed to travel inside of China. And if you were outside of Wuhan, you couldn't fly into Wuhan. That was the first travel ban. And meanwhile, the current White House is doing nothing about the hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland, ranch land that China is buying up, often near our U.S. military installations. They don't seem to care about the 800% increase in Chinese nationals coming across our southern border. There have been 900 apprehensions since December alone, and they are definitely not stopping China from paying off American universities with millions and millions of dollars in donations, including, you got it, the University of Pennsylvania, the home of the UPenn Biden Center. Now, the Biden administration is also ignoring China's military expansion into Antarctica. Now, they wouldn't even shoot down a Chinese spy balloon as it hovered over our nuclear sites and military bases for days on end. This week, we're being told that the U.S. actually tracked the balloon. This is what they're telling us now, from its very origin, when it took off from China. That is not what we were told last week. But if that is true, that raises a whole set of new questions, meaning why did Joe Biden wait 8 days to take it down before it actually flew over Alaska airspace and Idaho and our ICBM missile sites in Montana and other military installations, and allow it to fly over states like Missouri and Kansas and Kentucky all the way to the East Coast and the Carolinas? Apparently, Biden just, didn't think it was a major breach. Oh, that's right. That's what he said.
Wasn't it a major security breach for the United States? Just the fact that the balloon came into the airspace and flew over the country for so many days?
No, look, the total amount of intelligence gathering that's going on by every country around the world is overwhelming. And the idea that a balloon could traverse, break American airspace is... Anyway, it's not a major breach.
It's not a major breach? What planet is he on? Now, naturally, the remarks from his vice president, they weren't any better, by the way. She's now representing, by the way, our country at the Munich Security Conference. God help us all. And today she told Politico that the little balloon episode didn't impact our relationship with China in any way. That's not a major breach, didn't impact our relationship. Well, that's got to be news to China, because they have been threatening us all week with retaliation for shooting down their spy balloon off the coast of Myrtle Beach. Now, they should really be taking Biden for, thanking Biden for allowing them to collect all that intel for 8 straight days. But the CCP, they know that it can bully the Biden administration, that there won't be any consequences whatsoever. That's sad. Now, even on the administration's favorite topic, climate change, China, as usual, they get a free pass. Remember the Paris Climate Accords? They are recognized as a developing country, as is India. And meanwhile, China's polluting more than any other country on the face of the earth. They have a new coal-fired power plant that goes online on average every 10 days. And the Biden administration has no problem asking you, the American people, to make major sacrifices to reduce carbon by a minuscule amount, but they won't even broach the topic with China. Under Biden, China always gets a free pass. Now, today, Senator John Kennedy pointed this out during a hearing with so-called climate experts. Take a look at this.
We spend $50 trillion. Europe cooperates. Most Western democracies cooperate, but India and China don't. How much will our $50 trillion lower world temperature?
We're in this together, Senator. We have to get the world to work together.
How much? I get that.
Okay.
How much will it lower world temperatures?
If China and India do not help?
Yes.
I don't know.
Faced with a policy, okay, where China does something that's not in its best interest, but it does it because it's in the global best interest. Do you think President Xi would do that?
I think that President Xi understands that we have to work together to address this global problem. Yes, I do. And it will be in the best interest of China to work with the United States to address this problem.
So you think the answer is yes?
I think the answer is that it's in China's best interest to work with the rest of the world to address this problem, as it is in the United States' best interest to work with the rest of the world to address this problem, to create harmonized incentives to reduce emissions.
Do you believe in the tooth fairy?
No, sir.
Do you believe in the Easter Bunny?
No, sir.
Do you believe that Jimmy Hoffa died of natural causes?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.